Hi everyone. I want to show another one of my manuscripts that I have here at my office at Dar Khalifa. This is the manuscript that followed my book, The Caliph's House. I wrote it in 2007 and it's a book called In Arabian Nights. Some people thought it was a sequel to The Caliph's House, but it certainly wasn't. I wanted to write another book on Morocco, or more importantly, the publisher I had at Random House wanted me to write another The Caliph's House because it had been so incredibly successful. And publishers, all they want you to do is serve up the same meal again and again because they know they can sell it. This book is one that I really liked writing. And it's a lot more important to me than The Caliph's House. The Caliph's House was about me coming to Morocco with my family. In Arabian Nights is about Morocco through the culture of stories and storytelling, which to me is almost the most important thing of all. The version that I've just picked up is actually a typeset version of the manuscript. I've got another version there somewhere, but doesn't matter, this one will do. It's a book that I dedicated to my aunt, Amina, who was still very much alive then. And I had said to her, Mina, as we called her, my father's sister, I had said, I want to write a book about Morocco, another book about Morocco, and I want to really describe it from the inside out. What should I do? And she was crocheting a hat, I remember, as she always did. And she just looked up for a moment as she crocheted and she said, Morocco through its stories. And that was it. And my grandfather had written a book in the 1930s called Alone in Arabian Nights. And I thought I would just simplify it and call it In Arabian Nights. This is a book that, as I said, I really liked writing because it allowed me the time and the space to talk about stories and more importantly, to think about them. Here, I'm just gonna read a paragraph or two here. This is as good a place as any. Chapter 15. An hour before I set off on the long journey to the Sahara, Ariane tied a pink ribbon around my wrist. She said that each time I touched my hand to the ribbon or looked at it, it would mean that she was thinking of me. Ariane's my daughter and she was about 6. In a small bag, I had packed a few essentials and a letter of introduction from Dr. Mehdi. I pulled the door of the house closed. The guardians were standing to attention in a kind of shambled royal guard. They saluted and Rachna drove us out through the shanty town up the hill to the railway station at Waziz. We crossed the tracks and I waited for the train to Marrakesh. Rachna was standing against the light, Timur on her hip, Ariane between us. There was a blast of a horn in the distance and the train rolled in, steel wheels grinding against the tracks. I kissed Rachna and the children. I won't be long, I said. I'll be back as soon as the favor is done. This isn't about a favor, said Rachna, leaning forward to hug me. I climbed up, turned back to wave, and the train jolted away out of Casablanca towards the south. There's nothing like a train journey for reflection, and the passage from Casablanca to Marrakesh is one of the most inspiring I know. Movement has a magical effect on the mind. It stimulates the eyes, distracts them, allowing real thought to take hold. I stared out at the window at the landscape, changing by slow degree from urban to farmland and then again to a desert panorama, baked terracotta red. Nice. Of course, it's so interesting again, to read this and just to see that my writing had improved and I was a lot more confident after The Caliph's House was published and, you know, did well. And I was happy because I was living here at Dar Khalifa.